Hey there, Groovesters, Groove Stars, Ridgely here with another Groove Growth inspiration sponsored by Groove Digital, your platform for making online dreams come true. And this one is titled Running. I'm a runner too, he blurted out with a sly grin. Maybe we should knock out a few miles sometime, he added. Sure, she answered. I'd like that. Over the weeks that followed, the banter grew from friendly back and forth to playful trash talk, amusing commentary about trails of dust in the back of his disappearing head. If only he knew. When he proposed a race, she agreed without hesitation. No pain, no gain, he cried out to no one in particular as he pounded down the asphalt at a blistering pace. She smiled and trailed a few yards behind, quiet, steady. I'm feeling the pain, so I must be getting the gain, he glanced over at her. She kept gliding along the road, content to let him surge ahead. The verbal sparring reached new heights the night before over dinner, and though she recognized it all in jest, she felt the familiar bile creep into her stomach, the stirring of that dark place that she both accepted and embraced, yet still brought up shame. It was what it was. It was who she was. She would not lose. In bed, almost unconsciously, she spent a few minutes visualizing the contest. She had never followed the course, though she knew the finish line. She needed nothing else. Looks like it might rain, she said, her first words. Do we need to stop? He queried with a half smirk. No, she responded softly. No rain, no gain, he laughed at his own joke. Maybe it'll help me grow. At the 15-minute mark, she began to accelerate, lengthened her stride a half step. She had only one fear, that he might have a strong kick for the last stretch, and that his longer legs could carry him more quickly at the very end. She would wear him out long before then. There would be no kick. Of that, she would make sure. Shall we do the 3.5 or the 4.5 loop? He asked. Whatever you think, she replied. For the 4.5, you hang a right. Otherwise, go straight, he tacked on. She turned right. As the lactic acid squeezed the fibers in her thighs and calves, she pressed harder, driving past the pain, beyond the burn. It hurt. So what? A lot of things hurt. The indomitable fury that fueled the drive simmered beneath the surface. She knew it had nothing to do with him. It didn't matter. She had no on-off switch nor other measure of control, though personal work over the years held it in check, hidden under a mostly pleasant veneer. The battle belonged to her, with herself, and for the most part, she managed to keep it private. As he fell behind, she slowed down long enough for him to catch up, then drove again, unconscious of her no-prisoners approach or lack of mercy. One more curve, one more street, done. Down the final third of a mile stretch, for a brief moment, she glimpsed terror, a fleeting notion that perhaps he had enough juice for a burst. Sucking for air, she forced a torrid rate, each foot rushing past the other beneath her. It could not be. No, it could not. She left him in her wake with a widening gap, though drew little satisfaction from it. It simply had to be that way, that's all. 50 yards from the finish line, she stopped and began to walk. He caught up and stopped beside her. They walked the last 10 yards and crossed together. No words exchanged. None needed. That was the first time that my wife just completely obliterated me. Guess it was a little more emotional than I thought. I had no chance. Sure did learn a lesson, though. Know who not to mess with. I'll see you next time on another Groove Growth inspiration. Ciao for now.